Hey man, Corey Joseph gone. Warriors get an easy win in Indiana on a back-to-back night. Two back-to-back blowouts, essentially. Steph hits 11 threes.
So well on your side. That's how you're getting a tiny bit of separation. Oh, my goodness.
Come on! 6 for 6! He's barely across midcourt! You're doing it with us, Steph.
Shut up.
I gave him the goat.
All right, you ready? Go!
Yes, sir.
And hey, things are looking brighter and brighter. And yeah, the trade deadline is over. I wanted to make a separate video, but I also didn't because the deadline was just weird. And there was just not enough interesting really happening. The Knicks made great moves. I loved what the Mavs did with PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. I was really jealous in them getting Gafford. But at the end of the day, the Warriors didn't want to part ways with some of their players, especially Chris Paul. And they felt like there was nothing they could have gotten in return that would have made this team better. And it is what it is at the end of the day. And I think there certainly could have been a deal with Chris Paul in there that could have gotten us something solid and better. But at the end of the day, what can we do? What can we do? And we responded perfectly in Indiana, where we left Corey Joseph, who they waived right after we traded him there for a second round pick, which is just, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Poor Corey Joe, but with Lester Quinones, incredible play that I would say none of us saw really coming, and Corey Joseph's play is just essentially being not needed after that because we had a better, bigger, stronger defender and somebody who can actually play, with the ball in his hands, and Lester actually can create his own shot from time to time if you need some, and can get into his Jordan Poole bag. And Chris Paul's return seems also imminent after the All-Star break, so it made sense to part ways with Corey Joseph. Nonetheless, pretty cold to leave him in Indiana on the streets. Hope he's doing fine. Nonetheless, hey, Steph, 7 of 7 from the 3-point line he started, I'm pretty sure. And he had 6 of 6 in the first quarter. And the one he hit where he was essentially getting double team and he just pulled up in front of the double team from almost near the logo. And it was just peak Steph Curry, man. That felt like 2016, 2017 Steph. And it was wonderful to see, man. 42 points, 11 of 16, and it came pretty easily, right? A lot of it were shots within the offense. Then once he got going, he got to cooking, and it was wonderful to see, man. And the offense continues to just evolve with a lot of these inverted pick and rolls, inverted offense. Kuminga, Wiggins, and Draymond, of course, handling the ball with those back screens, and it's been working really nice. Then you add in the Podziemski's playmaking back, who had 7 rebounds once again with 2 turnovers only, 9.7 boards. You add in the defensive prowess of Wiggins, Kuminga, and Draymond. Wiggins now looking just completely different right out there on the basketball court. He looks rejuvenated. He looks happy to be out there, and he's working his butt off defensively. He had 11, 4, and 5 on 5 of 10 shooting, had some timely baskets. Another good day of drives for Wiggins, some good shot distribution, and he was really good defensively on Tyrese Halliburton. The same goes for Kuminga, who was a little over-eager at times against these Pacers, but I also felt like he got put into some tough lineups in there, where he essentially had to be the whole hub of offense, and it created some tough turnovers for him, but he still did really well. Shot 0 free throws, which I felt like at least half of his missed shots and turnovers were fouls, but the refs just weren't calling it, unfortunately, for him. He still was 56% from the field, 9 of 16, 18 points, had 2 blocks, really impressive blocks tonight defensively, was really good defensively, 4 assists. The rebounding numbers aren't great, but at the end of the day, with Podziemski, Draymond out there, and Wiggins' his improved prowess defensively, it didn't matter. Dario also had 7 boards. You had 5 boards from Lester Quinones. Guy Santos helped out rebounding-wise with 8 rebounds. So you didn't need him necessarily to rebound as much, and he was defending a lot on the perimeter and continuing his just rise to stardom. Draymond with 8, 8, 5, and 2 had some rough passes. Still missing some layouts, but he's dealing with some knee issue and is just incredible defensively, man. He's just an overall defensive talent, and him, Wiggins, and Kuminga have completely changed the defense, right? We are essentially one of the best defensive teams, and those lineups are really great defensively with Draymond in there. And over the last, when we look at the last 15 games or so, if we can, let us see at those teams, lineups, advanced numbers. Let's look at last 10 games. When we look at the defensive rating, we're in the top 7, which is really good, of course, right there with the Orlando Magic. And with net rating, we're third, actually. And we just lost some really close games, man. Have been really unlucky with some of these close games. And over these last 15 games, when we look at the defensive rating, we were 21st, which was, of course, with Draymond not out there. And you see how different it is when Draymond is out there. Like beforehand, when you count 5 more games where Draymond was not playing, we were in the bottom 10, and all of a sudden Draymond's back and we're in the top 10. That just shows you how good Draymond is defensively. And now on the season we're 19th in the league, 13th in net rating now. But of course those lineups with Draymond, Wiggins, and when we look at it, Draymond, pardon me, I have to go Green, Kuminga. Come on, NBA. Make your app a little better, dog. Green, Kuminga, and Wiggins. Those lineups are just incredible. And I have to go advanced, actually. So we have to do this all over again, because that's what it is at the end of the day. Wiggins, Green, man, I wish this was a little easier to do and they had a better website, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Those are the 5-player lineups, and yeah, defensive rating in the 90s, in the lower 90s. And with Podziemski, it's even more incredible somehow. And with Clay, it's not as good offensively, which is an intriguing part. But some of it is that he just simply, that Clay is simply struggling with his shot rather than him being bad, I would say, right? Because it's still a really good lineup. Just a really impressive lineup with Podziemski, who just is incredible, man. He's just a ball player, as we keep saying and hearing, right? And I also like how Steve Kerr has adjusted. I didn't love the lineup with Kuminga as the sole offensive hub, but at the end of the day, it also shows you how much they trust him and want him to actually be the offensive hub, right? Because he has the power to do so. And I also think they weren't happy with some of the non-calls on him. And you got Guy Santos in there because he just shows you a lot of goddamn good stuff and effort. And he rewarded you for it, right? 8 rebounds, 13 points, 5 of 8. Hit some momentum shifters, right? Momentum killers for the Pacers in the fourth quarter where, it felt like they could maybe get back in the game because in today's NBA, 15-point leads are essentially nothing. He hit a couple of huge 3-pointers and was just really good overall. Looney didn't have a good night, so he just played 5 minutes. And, he's been looking much better, Looney, but this was not a good matchup for him. And Steve and the staff recognized it and played him just 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And that was not that early on in the season, right? Lester Quinones defended his ass off once again, played a good all-around game, even though his shot was not falling. 6-5 and 5 plays 27 minutes. And his defense is just getting him on the floor. Dario, he's been playing a little less lately, but today he was actually really good out there. 11, 7, and 3, 4 of 6 shooting, played 17 minutes. So I felt like today's minutes distribution was really good with Clay out, who was out due to illness. Happy belated birthday to Clay Thompson, man. One of the legends. And hopefully he sees the rejuvenation in the squad and we fall in line, man. And we're looking good, man. We have a really important stretch now before the All-Star break, as I keep pointing out. All the time, essentially, because the momentum is great, and we have some winnable games heading into this heading into this All-Star break. We have the Suns at home, which of course is a tough one with the way Phoenix is playing, but it's at home, and with the way we're playing, it's obviously a winnable game. Then Utah away, which is a tough one, but also a winnable game. The Clippers, like the home games are tough, and the fact that we have the Utah Jazz away right after we play in LA does not go well for us. It's one of those rescheduled games, unfortunately. But if we could go 3-1 in these games, um, it would bode so well for us because we would be over 500 all of a sudden, and things would look much brighter. Things would look much brighter. And yeah, rejuvenated team, man. They look great. The coaching staff looks different. It feels better. It feels different. Let's hope we can continue building on in this momentum. He thinks he's part of the team. As always, be kind to ourselves. Be kind to yourselves and to others, and love yourselves as much as possible. Take care of your mental. Be kind to others, and yeah, that's it, man. Just be, baby.